Very good morning. This is Mahavir, and you're watching InfostopIQ. In this session, we are going to discuss the geopolitical incidents which are currently happening across the world and some of the other highlights as well. Let us start. In this session, we are going to discuss something about the war between Israel and Hamas. Currently, the war between Israel and Hamas is at a highest level where Israel is constantly bombarding the Gaza and the Palestinian regions across the Red Sea, and the Gaza Strip is completely turned into a rubble. Most of the victims have lost their lives, property, and near and dear ones. This is very unfortunate, and it is unfortunate because initially the war was not started by Israel. It was the Hamas which was unprovokedly, without any provocation, they have fired missiles into the Israeli territory, killing a lot of women, children, and elderly. This has created a lot of anguish across the Western states who are supporting Israel, and they have started supporting Israel, and Israel has worked to eliminate the Hamas terrorists, which are a kind of cannibal cannibals. I don't use the word such a extreme word as cannibal, but something to that effect. And their behavior was such a thing that even a dead body was stripped and raped by the Hamas terrorists. They have gone into the houses of the Israelis. They have killed the elderly who are unable to walk. They are on the beds. They have gone into the rooms of those houses and killed them. Such a gruesome attack has brought about a lot of anguish and hatred amongst the Hamas terrorists, and the Western nations have started supporting the Israel. Israel initially said that this war is going to be a long. It's not a response to the one-day activity which was fired by the Hamas terrorists into the Israeli territory, thereby killing the Israeli people, and the counter attack by the Israelis. It is not so. Initially, Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel, has said it categorically that this time this counter is going to be a long counter attack, and this has created a lot of chaos and a lot of difficulties to the Israeli people, I would say, and thousands of people have died so far. There was casualties, and the deceased from the both sides, from the Israeli as well as from the Palestinian sides. From the Palestinians, the Hamas so-called organization represent so-called representing. It's not the will of the Palestinians that they are backing completely the Hamas terrorists, but Hamas themselves claim that they are representing the people of Palestinians, and they are fighting for the cause of freedom, and they want to get the freedom from the Israelis, and want to create and want to eliminate the Jews and take back the land which was taken occupied by the Israelis. And this occupation was not a one day occupation, it was happening since they both have got recognition in the United Nations organization as independent countries. From the day one, the Middle East and the Central Asian countries, they all the Muslim countries, they doesn't want any Jew nation in the Muslim land, as what they claim that the land belongs to Muslims. That is what their claim is all about. Presently, the situation is very grim, and I hope that this war going to end and both the parties will come together and sign a ceasefire document, and there should be a no victims who had been taken as hostages has to be relieved. They have to send back to their own countries. That is what should happen, and I hope and pray that will happen in the due course of time. And the other highlight of the geopolitical topic is that the current dissatisfaction and the constant pressure tactics and the brinkmanship between India and America. This regards to the issue of Khalistani terrorist Pannu. Pannu has claimed that he is going to bomb Indian Parliament, which was extremely instigating as well as intimidating remark by the Pannu from the American land. The CIA and the American authorities, though they have the notice of such remarks and hatred perpetrated from their own territory, they are not going to take any sort of action against the so-called khalistani terrorists, as everybody knows that America covertly support these terrorists, not only a terrorist wanted to India from, it also supports many terrorists belongs to many other countries. The American use these people as pressurizing tactics, bargaining tactics, in order to put pressure on the people. But India is not going to bow down to such pressure tactics. India will never bow down to such tactics. India currently is buying a time. It is not that they cannot retaliate to such comments and activities, but there is a potential elections which may happen in the near future in both the countries. India is going to have its elections in the month of March or April 2024, and in US they may happen in the month of September or October next year, in the year 2024. India expects that there is going to be a change of guard in the Washington DC, in the Capitol Hill, and here in India everybody is expecting that Modi is going to win once again in the year 2024 for 5-year term, one more 5-year term. So if he wins, it could be the third consecutive win for the BJP-led coalition, led by the Narendra Modi as Prime Minister. In the past 9.5 to 10 years, almost 10 years, India has seen a lot of problems, a lot of challenging times, as well as some of the enriching times as well. India has seen a problem of some of the internal issues like instability in the region, in the northeast region. India has also seen the escalation of the warlike situation between India and China, and there are some disagreeing thoughts and actions vis-a-vis India and other countries in the field of economics, in the to be very precise, in the trade relationship. India has lost some of the WTO cases, which has put a question mark on the economic, trade and other related aspects. In the same time, India also has seen enriching times, has has gained a lot of soft power. India has hosted G20 meeting. India has is playing pivotal role in the turbulence time of war between Russia and Ukraine, as the war could have put many LDCs, the least developing countries, into bankruptcy, has been nullified by the leadership that has been played by the India and the led by Narendra Modi, which has gone against the Western nations and buying the oil from the Russia, and thereby creating a counterforce of inflation, which could even bankrupt some of the third world countries. India has played crucial role and is also playing the crucial role. This has not gone well with the Americans. They are constantly putting pressure on India, and this is the latest incident which is happening between India and America. That is the issue of khalistani terrorist Pannu. This is also a pressure tactic which America believes that could leverage some sort of potential benefits out of India. That is what they believe as far as the Americans are concerned. But here in India and the Modi, India never takes such pressures. They are absolutely capable of countering such pressure, which can be a drastic change in the foreign policy against Americans. India is buying the time for a potential election in the year 2024. If again Democrats wins, India would certainly, it is my assumption that there is nobody has said, but my assumption is that the defense deals between US and India is going to be cancelled if again the democratic government was set up in the American. If Republicans are going to come and the potential Republican candidate Trump or some other person, if they are going to form the government, Republican government in the United States, and their foreign policy vis-a-vis South Asia and in particular to with India in relation to Russia and China, if their policy is conducive, if India feels the American policy is conducive, new government's policy, if it is conducive to the Indian interest, then it is going to go ahead with the deals. Otherwise, I suspect, and I am assuming, not just assuming, I am confident, if there is no change of guard in the United States, if there is no change of foreign policy and the attitude and kind of pressure tactics that they are trying to create on India, if it is not going to go back, or if they are not going to create such problems, then it is a beginning that this relation can be solidified. Otherwise, Narendra Modi's government will certainly come out of the deals, defense deals, and they are very smart as well. They have signed memorandum memorandum of understandings, MOUs, between the two countries, many defense deals, but they have not implemented on the ground. India is constantly analyzing the behavior and the attitude and the policy of the Americans vis-a-vis India. They are constantly seeing their attitude, their behavior, and this is going to, if this is going to, this is the same attitude that is going to prevail, then India certainly will take a call. And they have also has just given a hint just now that India is going back once again to Russia to buy fifth generation aircraft, which potentially has huge impacts in the coming days. India was the partner in the project of fifth generation between India and Russia. India has its reservations vis-a-vis the features and the clauses of technology transfer and the kind of functions that the potential fighter is going to have. But after some of the accreditations by the Russian side, Su-57E export version, India is considering this option as well. There is some defense committee which has given their opinion that India has to buy fifth generation fighter. They have to scrap MRFA contract, potential contract, and India is again going to deepen the ties between Russia in the near future if I am giving a provided, having conditional clause of if, that America is continuously put pressure on the India, and this policy of pressure tactics, if it prevails and there is no change of guard, change of attitude, change of tactics, and a genuine confidence building relationship between India and America is not going to have, the confidence is not there, then this ties between India and Russia is going to again increase. So that's it, my friends, on this session. Hope to see you in the next session very soon with some more updates. Thank you very much.